Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome in. If you are new or just passing through to my channel, welcome. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. If you're returning, welcome back, squad. I'm here today to do another general collective reading. We're not sign specific here. We're also gender fluid. I may say you when I'm talking to them, may say them, I'm talking to you. Put yourself in the story wherever you seem to fit. Remember that time and energy are fluid, so I could be talking about the past, present, or the future. Take the parts that resonate, leave everything else behind. If you'd like to book a personal, more aligned with your own story, all of my information can be found below in the description box. And I invite you to join me for a session. All right, y'all. I have a little bit of time. Before the first video premieres and between the time I got to start cooking dinner. So thought I'd sit down and throw some cards again, see what else Spirit wants to talk about. What else do we need to know? It's funny because I often ask myself, because I know we've been talking about variations of the same story, different angles in the room, talking about the same subject over and over again. And aside from the fact that I know that everybody's on a different timeline, so we're all at different points within this journey, people seem to be mystified at how so many people can be experiencing the same thing, because we're all parts of the same thread within the weave of the matrix. So I believe that part of the reason why I'm here and part of the reason why I have to tell these stories repeatedly and over again is for reinforcement and confirmation of things that you already are aware of. And to kind of give you a glimpse of what's going on the other side. All right, let's tap in. I'm going to do a different spread. Let's take a look at current energy. Well, damn. I'm using a different deck, and I'm using an entirely different spread. I'm going with a different spread, but it definitely looks like the same energy from the last reading. Okay. This feels like for lack of a better phrase, this looks like somebody fucked around and they found out, or they're finding out right now. There is some distance between you and a person. I feel as though there's been a shift, because I feel like I felt an energy shift, and it felt more like honestly, it kind of felt like a pressure being lifted off of one's shoulders, like, you know, when you finally got something out of your hair, and, you know, all the pressure that you've been feeling on your shoulders kind of lifts off. That's what it felt like. But I feel like there's somebody here who is devastated by the fact that there has been a sudden change in circumstances or the dynamic. If at one point you had been on the lower half of the wheel, I'm pretty sure while you were on the lower half of the wheel, the person that I'm talking about had been on the upper half. Now those tables have turned. You are now on the upper half of the wheel, and this person is devastated by their new position. I do get the energy here that in the recent past, they may have taken some this is beyond taking hasty steps. This is like acting foolishly, moving in. This kind of haste feels very reckless. It feels very, very reckless. And in the near future, whoever this person is, they are going to be an outcast, or they are going to feel as though they have been outcasted. Like, say if at one point this person had been, if this person had been in a position where people would generally respect them for whatever, like, I mean, this also kind of gives me the energy of this could be somebody who was a little bit older. So if like this person had been generally respected for, you know, their wisdom and knowledge or what have you, in the near future, they're going to be outcasted as somebody who, they just, I just think, like, I heard falling from grace. So this person, this person may be falling from grace. Now, the other side of this, if this is, because I do see something else here, this kind of looks like somebody who, it very well could be somebody falling from grace if this person had been in a marriage, or if they are currently married or partnered. This could also be like the breakdown of a relationship, a breakdown of a marital contract, and then somebody being afraid of having to be alone. Damn. I'm going to take the cards that flipped. Now, energy of what's happening in the environment means that other people can see it. I do have the energy of somebody either trying to manipulate. This could either be somebody trying to manipulate energy so that people will, like, look at you differently, like look at you. I don't even have the energy of somebody spreading rumors and gossip and lies, but just this one card kind of implies that there's somebody here who's really confident in their ability, thinking that they could shift the way people look at you or shift the way that people perceive you. And you may be at a distance, or you may be somewhere separate from this person or separate from this situation. So if you're not necessarily there, it's kind of like if you're not necessarily there to, like, defend yourself or dispute whatever's being said, I feel like they think that they could get away with it simply because you're not there representing yourself. You don't have a representative. But here's the thing. I don't think that, so if you are typically known as being somebody who's very loving and generous and very kind, they can't shift the perspective of who you are. Oh my God, I have a bunch of information that's flooding in right now. Okay, so so what this looks like is, and I haven't even pulled another card, but I'm going to tell you what this part looks like. This looks like somebody trying to change the narrative or influence how other people view you, right? By trying to imply that maybe you're selfish, and, you know, that you're selfish and that you're a liar and, like, all this other shit, right? But I think what people can see in the environment, it's not that you are selfish, and it is not that you are, you know, unloving or uncaring. It's that you are more discerning of who you give to. So what other people can see is that you are still generous, loving, and kind to others. You are just not fucking with them. You're not entertaining it. You're not looking at it. You are very much in touch with your emotions. It's kind of like if whoever this person is, they really wanted to flip the way that people saw you or perceive you. Yeah, I said even before I could pull all the other cards, the bottom cards that are in the background imply the same thing. Like, you have these boundaries, and they're upset because you're still who you are. You are still loving. You are still generous and kind. You just aren't loving, generous, and kind to them, and they feel like it's unfair. You're not taking any action towards it. You're not interested in the least bit. You're literally not even paying attention to it. You have no desire to engage. You have no desire to engage. They want to communicate with you, but you may have them blocked. Also the same energy if you are in a partnership, or you are, if you're in a committed partnership, or even if you're just dating somebody, I can even see where they have also tried to like end your relationship or end your partnership, and that is unsuccessful as well. Poor Tink Tink. And they are very, very worried that you've kind of just, that you've moved on. In their effort to try to win at all costs, part of their fears or concerns is that they pushed you to your limit, and now you've left, you've left the building, left the foo. And part of the blockage and obstacle, this is a lot. They can't do anything. Part of their problem, or their current obstacle, is they can't do anything to affect your stability. They can no longer do anything to affect your stability. They cannot. They've been trying to change a certain dynamic in your life, or change either the way you're perceived, or I don't know. It's kind of a, I'm trying to figure out how to describe this, because it is a different kind of energy for me. But part of their blockage and the obstacles that they're faced with is that it almost feels like if you were unstable, okay, if you were unstable, they somehow benefit from that. I don't know how, but we're going to dig into that. But part of the obstacle that they're having is that you got away, and they were trying to affect your stability. But the tower, they got a tower because you've already kind of moved away from it. And not only did you do that, you're still stable. It has not affected your stability. And yeah, see, here's the thing. They have been, I feel like they have been repeatedly attacking areas of your life that bring you stability. They've been attacking areas of your life that bring you stability. So that could be affecting your work. It could be affecting your relationships. It's not working. It's not working. They've been waiting. I even get this energy of like somebody here waiting, because for them, waiting for the ships to come in, they're waiting for you to be in this. They're waiting for this tower to come hitting you. They're waiting for the tower to hit you. That's not what's happening though. You're in the most stable. This is probably, I don't want to hear about it in the comment that you're not stable. I'm not talking to you. This may not be your reading. I'm talking to somebody here who is in a very stable space. This is probably the most stable you've ever been in your whole life. That's who I'm talking to right now. I'm talking to somebody who is the most stable that they've ever been. You are finally in a position where you have the ability to kind of maintain on your own. You're good. Whether you're partnered, not partnered, alone, not alone, whatever, you're good. You're good. This person has done everything that they can to try to undermine that sense of stability for you, and it's not working. It's literally not working. Damn. You walked away from this relationship because it was emotionally unfulfilling, emotionally unsupportive, and you may have even been dealing with somebody who was a whole ass bully. You could have definitely been dealing with somebody who thought they knew everything. This person is a liar. This person is a liar. They think they're a lot smarter than they are. They fucked around and found out because you walked away and you kept going. And because of that, the circumstances of your life shifted. And you're in a better position than you've ever been in. Congratulations. I kind of feel like the advice for this, because I feel like the advice is more for them and not so much for you. For you, I feel like you moved on, and you may have, in the absence of whoever this is, you may have found your tribe, or you may have made new connections with people that seem a little bit more in alignment with you. Where you find alignment, you also find a certain level of balance within these relationships as well. I kind of feel like for this person, their advice would be to seek the same. Like, now that you've, moved away from them, it's almost time for them to, like, kind of pick themselves up and continue on with their life. Instead of being so hyper focused on you, but instead of being angry and hyper focused on you and hyper focused on how unhappy they are, I feel like it's kind of like God giving somebody a second chance. They may not be able to have that second chance with you, but they doesn't mean that they don't get a second chance to be happy and to find people that they're in alignment with, but they're not currently in alignment with you. I'm like, which deck do I want to use? Let's use this one. All right, I'm actually going to ask a question. I'm not going to clarify the cards that I have here. I'll do that in a second. But I am curious to know if, because the goal here, it feels like, was that they wanted you to be off balance. They wanted to shake your stability because they benefit from it. How does this karmic collective benefit from the collective having a faulty foundation? How does this person or people benefit from the collective being unstable? How do they benefit from the collective being unstable? Baby, they so unhappy. It almost feels like it, because maybe in the past, I don't know who this person is for you, but I kind of feel like maybe in the past, when you were like in a low space, maybe you turned to this person. This is crazy. Maybe you turned to this person for some kind of support. So maybe that's the goal. Like, if they can rattle whatever you got going on in your life, that you would, backtrack, turn around, and go back to them. um I don't like this. But the funny thing is, they're not happy because you never turned around. They were unable to shake your foundation. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Whoever this person is, they may have prioritized other things over your relationship. Therefore, they may have rejected you in the past. And the sheer fact that you walked away from this person or walked away from the environment, how it created a change for you, it was your rejection of their energy that created that change. I don't know what that was. And this almost feels very similar to an energy that popped up in yesterday's reading, or maybe it wasn't yesterday. Could have been a couple days ago. But it kind of feels like whoever this person is, they may not have ever had any real love for you. They may have always lied to you. There may have always been some sense of injustice. There have been lies here, but they may have never actually had any real love for you. Mm-hmm. And whoever this definitely could be a family member. And if this person or whoever this is had been previously a part of your 10 of cups, because this did come up yesterday. If at one point having this person part of your overall 10 of cups, if that's what you thought, now you don't think that way. You don't look at them that way. You don't consider them a part of your 10 of cups. And at one point you may have been very not perplexed, but there could have been, like, I heard, a moral dilemma. Like maybe you had a dilemma in peeling away from this, because now the theme has largely been wrapped around like family and family dynamics. So if at one point you thought that these people were all supposed to be a part of your life, I remember talking about this a couple years ago, where I was like, usually when you think about your family, you think you're gonna be with these people like for the rest of your life. You always think that you're gonna that these people, like, your favorite cousins and stuff like that, your favorite aunt and all that. You've always felt like these people would be part of your life for the rest of your life. You never actually thought that you would, dismiss it and give that up, and reevaluate what your interpretation of, or what your idea of family looks like. And at one point you may have been bound to it by, the social construct of being bound to your family. You ain't thinking that way no more. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I love this. Oh, I love this. I do feel like somebody they want to communicate and try to pitch a new cycle. Now, I also have the energy here too. You may have somebody there may be some communication coming towards you. Okay. Whoo. Now that I'm looking at this different. There may be some communication coming towards you. Advising you of a new opportunity, a windfall, or an inheritance. This feels like, but I'm looking at the look on this person's face when they're trying to communicate. They're angry about it. They don't want to have to tell you about it. Especially if it's an inheritance or something derived from somebody's passing. Again, I don't have the kipper out here, but y'all know the story. Interesting. Yeah, I said they're upset here because you're giving to other people, but you're not giving to them. They don't want people to see or know that you are still generous, loving, kind, just not to them. Down here, I also feel like if you do have this new opportunity or a situation coming towards you, I honestly feel like the only reason why they want to come and be in your energy is because they are not in a stable space right now. Remember, when we first started the reading, I was like, this is an energy of somebody who has shifted positions. At one point, they were on the upper half of the wheel. They're not on the upper half of the wheel anymore. They're now on the bottom half of the wheel. They're stuck in a position where they're having to, rob Peter to pay Paul kind of thing. A lack of stability. But I also have the energy here too of somebody who they don't want to. This is weird because I do feel like this is somebody here who doesn't even want to put in any. They don't want to do. I heard they don't want to do any of the emotional labor. So down here with this judgment card, judgment in the upright with justice in the reverse with the ace of wands in the reverse, this could literally be you making a judgment call that, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not even entertaining it. I'm not looking at it. Have a strong recognition that this person is unstable. And if you get involved with them or you allow them to get into your world, they'll make your shit unstable too. Yep. Loss of all hope. Somebody here who's deeply sad. Deeply saddened. Losing hope. Hurt because everything that they tried to do, all it did was push you away even further. Further and faster. Again, everything that they tried to do to shake your foundation did not work. So somebody got a bright idea. It still never worked in their favor. It did not work in their favor. Damn, what they need to release? You. There's something here they're holding on to, and it could very well be resources. Could be this, resources. They don't want to let go of it. Four of Pentacles over here. They don't want to let go of it. They're very unhappy about that. They're unhappy about having to let go of it. There's an anticipation. I don't know what this is. They just don't want you to be stable. They need to apologize for whatever they're doing, but they don't want to do that either. They don't want to do that either. Child, a lesson. Wheel of Fortune and Death. It's an end to the whole lesson here was that their bullying ass ways made you walk away. The Wheel of Fortune is a 10 card. This is also talking about fate and destiny. Child, this was destined to happen. This relationship dynamic was destined to end just the way that it did. All because now, this is funny. This is funny because the advice cards based on the cards that I have here, every card that I have in my hand is already out here on the board. So basically their advice is they should be telling the truth, admit the truth, of what they've done, what they have been doing to the collective behind your back. I heard admitting defeat because you have defeated them. Uh-oh. You good, Lucky? Poor Lucky, he's getting old. It was also Lucky's birthday yesterday too. So when my son celebrates his birthday, we also celebrate Lucky's birthday because he was a rescue dog, and he was just a puppy when we got him. So we know he was born sometime like late, maybe sometime in June. But we celebrate his birthday with my son because he was my son's birthday gift, and so we've had him for 10 years, but he's definitely showing signs of aging. So like he's a jack cheese, so he's always been a jumping dog. um but now when he like jumps onto chairs and stuff, he doesn't always make it, and he falls off the couch often. I have a counter height dinner table, so it's pretty high with bar stools, and he usually hops into the chairs with no problems, but now he's having problems. um Part of this, the advice, I feel like this person needs to come clean. It's funny because even down here they need to come clean, but they angry about it. They don't want to. They don't want to tell you what they've been doing. They don't want to tell you what they've been doing. They don't want to tell you what they've been doing to get them in the position that they're in right now. But they've been trying to affect your money. They've been trying to affect your relationships. They've been trying to affect, like I said, everything that makes you stable, that keeps you stable, they've been trying to affect. And it's not working. It's not working. Mm, baby. Because you're healing. Now, I want to say this, and I know that, YouTube's kind of funny about the certain language that certain words you can't use and whatever, which is the reason why a lot of people say unalive. They may have tried to unalive you, and they couldn't. They couldn't. You're very much healed or healing from their emotional abuse. Yep. And this person here, whoever this is that didn't actually have real love for you and treated you poorly or unfairly, they have been resisting transformation, growth, or change. Mm-hmm. And all the lies that they've been telling about you, you've been protected from them. You've been protected from all of them. So it doesn't matter what this person's been saying about you or whoever. It could be a bunch of people. One person could be a bunch of people. It doesn't matter what they've been saying about you because it doesn't change the perception of the people. Like, yeah, maybe it worked for a period of time, but you've been protected largely from the lies that have been told about you. Yep, failure. I love it. It's kind of like their lies have not been able to shake your stability. You're still very grounded, and people can see it. If you're in a relationship, you may have been working hard to protect the sanctity of said relationship. Oh, look, yeah. Wealth and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so there is communication coming in here. But somebody may be like withholding was the word that was on the tip of my tongue, but that's not what I wanted to say. It's more like dragging their feet. Like somebody needs to notify you. Somebody needs this communication needs to come in, but they're not. They're like dragging their feet. They're not doing it. Something significant about the last year. And the removal or blockage of a gift. Yes, the fears or concerns may be the fact that somebody here at one point had been a shapeshifter. They no longer can do that. Other people are can clearly see that if they have been like, okay, say if somebody's been parading themselves around as being, the smartest person in the room, what's being seen is that that's not actually true. Especially if they've claimed to be intuitive. Yeah, they're not. I think they also, and if you are intuitive, I also feel like this person may have been doing some like energetic, you know, juju trying to affect your intuition as well. So, yeah, so if they have been trying to do juju over you, this is so crazy. Because I also feel like they've been trying to do juju over you to break up. Like I said, if you're in a stable environment, you're in a stable place, if you have a stable, healthy relationship, they've been trying to use what they perceive as their brand of juju to break up your bonds, and that's not happening because they don't really know what they're doing. I think I said it before in another reading. I was like, they were doing all this work against you, but because they don't know what they're doing, it's kind of, and then you're return to sender, it's backfiring. So, what they've successfully done is completely broken your relationship up with them, like you and them. That's done. So they've done something right now. They need to release something. They're unbalanced. They need to release whatever they're holding onto that doesn't belong to them because their life has become very, very complicated. The more they try to hold on to something that doesn't belong to them, the more complicated and unbalanced their life becomes. Whoo-hoo. And the lesson here, all good things do come to an end. Wheel of Fortune and Death with time and life in the reverse. All good things eventually come to an end. Nope, not taking all those. That was like 8 cards. One more. They've been trying. Oh my God. So this person is angry because they've been trying to hide this abundance. Illuminate and abundant. Illuminates in the reverse. They've been trying to hide this abundance. And whatever they've had you trapped in, they've kind of had you trapped in a cycle. They've been able to hide this. I want to say this has a lot to do with whatever's going on. It's funny. I was listening to an astrologer the other day talk about Mercury retrograde and Mercury being in Leo. And so specifically for Leo, especially for this, especially for Leo, when I look at this fire card, I'm like, especially for Leo, and if you're dealing with a Leo, if they've said something, or if they've said something, or they've done something, it may this cycle may have that situation resurface, and they may be questioned about it. Well, you said blah 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 blah. They may have to like explain themselves, explain the things that they have previously said. Interesting. Child. It's a matter of time. At balance, the scales have got to be balanced. And it was divine timing. So everything happens in divine timing. So if well, like I said, if one point you had been on the bottom half of the scale, you weren't meant to be at the bottom half you weren't meant to be at the bottom half of the scale for the rest of your life. Yeah, whoever you were dealing with, you could have definitely been dealing with somebody who was a bully, who had you always feeling like afraid to do things, afraid to speak your truth, or afraid to speak up or anything, just because they were so rigid in their expectations. Remember, I said there's somebody here who's resisting change. And upon your exit, baby, they are not going to be happy. They are not going to be happy. Not happy. Happy, happy reverse. Not happy. Not happy that everything that they've tried to do has failed. Especially if they're trying to break up a relationship. Yep, because the way they see it, they still see that you out here. Like if you're in a relationship, it kind of looks like other people. Now this could be other people as well, seeing just how the difference between you and this person. Because I definitely have somebody here who's unhinged. They may be able to, they can see that the person that they're dealing with is unhinged. I'm gonna leave this card out here because mending came out, but it kind of came off to the side. Because I do feel like that's their hope, that you would, come back into the fold. That would make them happy if you would reconcile with them. But they don't know if you will. And the not knowing is what's hurting them. Yeah. So I said this is because Young is that's an action card. With the Hangman, no action. Somebody needs to communicate to you about this wealth, this new opportunity. But they're not, there's a mess that they've made or created. They know if they communicate with you, they have a mess to clean up, and they don't want to have to do that. Keeping this gift away from you has benefited them greatly. But judgment has been called. Justice in the reverse out here, changing the wind. Times are shifting and times are changing. They need to come clean about whatever this resource is. Their fears or concerns may be the fact that they may have to give up a home. I wish you could see what's in my head right now. Because the way that I was seeing it's kind of like this person. I feel like whoever this person is, if it is a practitioner, or even if they paid a practitioner, I think this person practices. But if this person is a practitioner, I think what's happening right now is they're being shown, the divine is showing them who's stronger. It ain't them. I told you, everything that they've been trying to do, you've been protected. They're seeing it now that you are protected, like not just from your ancestors and your spirit team and your archangels, but you are protected. They don't know your spiritual ranking, but you are protected by God. Whatever this is, whatever they have to release that which is making their life very complicated right now. What they never imagined is that there's the potential that they would have to start all over again. Whatever this is, they would have to start over. It's like they got to start over and they don't even understand why. This reeks with entitlement. This entire reading reeks of entitlement. Somebody felt like they were entitled to something. They thought they were entitled to this. Yeah, see, they thought that they were entitled to this abundance. They never thought that there would not be a possibility for, like for y'all to like kiss and make up. But that's not here. That's not what's on the menu here. You've already made your exit and like I said, you walked away and you kept on going. They never thought that you would do that. But you recognize now, it took you a while. Oh, I love this. It took you a while. Yes. It took you a while to see your family. Like I said, this is giving me family dynamic. That's been the theme of the last few readings. It's kind of like you see the people for who they are. You may have even recognized that dealing with them required a lot of effort on your part. A lot of effort on your part in order to make things like stable and cool. And you had to build your way up to being ready to move into another phase of your life and to finally put a rest or bring some closure to yourself to just be done with the situation in a relationship. I love it. You made a decision to walk away from anything that wasn't in alignment with you, namely a family. Yep. Now, if they were doing juju, because I do see their energetic influence, let's check in with Amanda's deck. Energies of Affliction. Cop yours. I have the link in my description box below where you can get a copy for yourself. This is an amazing deck. Silent binding spell. Oh, I got two cards. Silent binding spells. Rituals done covertly to bind a person's will, keeping them stuck or under another's influence without their knowledge. Vengeful spirits. the restless souls of the departed who return with unresolved anger, desiring revenge or closure through manipulation. Invisible curses. Curses or energies cast without a person's awareness, causing ongoing misfortune and distress. Binding spells intended to restrict someone's actions or control their movements, often to prevent them from achieving something or causing harm to the person casting the spell. And emotional vampires, individuals who energetically drain others through constant negativity, neediness, or emotional instability. Yeah, I can vouch for that shit for sure. All right, let's grab a couple of Auntie on deck cards, because I gotta start cooking dinner. Addictions are causing delays or issues, unhealthy patterns. And the addiction doesn't necessarily mean drugs or alcohol. It just could be unhealthy patterns. Pay attention, use discernment, choose wisely. Perception, see yourself and others through the lens of love. See only the love. You can't be everything to everybody. Stop overgiving. Stop self-sacrificing. If they wanted to, they would have. Consider other options. Think outside of the box. Put yourself first. Stop overextending. Meditate on it. Be still. Maybe some father healing that's necessary. Analyze the matter. Mind over heart decisions. Healing isn't linear. Find grace through the transitions. You are ascending. Growth is beautiful. Don't be afraid. Open your heart. Ask questions, get more information. There's nothing you can do right now. Relax. And finally, review the details. Give it a second look. All right, let's grab one Chinese 5 elements card. Metal Tiger. Release your attachments. All right. This card appears when you're unsure of your next steps. It's okay to stop where you are, take a break, unplug from the outside world, and get quiet so you can listen to your inner voice. Your guides want you to free yourself from attachments and expectations. Clarity will come soon after. You may be holding on to material things, relationships, emotions, and thoughts that weigh you down. Look around you. Do you see clutter in your living space? Cleaning your rooms, your closets, your desk is a simple way to release some of the stagnant energy that may be blocking your path. This is why Feng Shui works. It's easier to change the energy of our immediate environment, that is our home, than it is to change our inner world through continuous self-work, which requires time, awareness, and dedication. Or change the external world, which is mostly outside of our control. Metal is the element of self-reflection. Observe your thoughts and emotions. Look at the person in the mirror without judgment. Rest and recharge to conserve your energy like the tiger so you can move quicker when needed. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If any parts of this reading resonated for you, gave you clarity or confirmation over your own story, give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate into the algorithm and get this in front of the eyes that need to see us the most. If you'd like to book a personal, more aligned with your own story, all of my information is below in the description box. I invite you to join me for a session. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me, for all the likes, shares, subscribes, tips, donations, the super thanks, the bookings from the new clients. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back later. Take care. Bye.